guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, Books with Brie. I'm Brianne, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my 2021 reading goals compared to my reading goals that I had this year. So on Goodreads, my number of books that I wanted to read in 2021 was 50, and that was actually amped up after about April when I got to my original goal of 25. I doubled it to see if I could make it to 50 throughout the year, and I actually exceeded it and read 61 books in total, 22 of which I gave 5 stars, which is an amazing ratio, by the way. But I think for 2021, I will set a reading goal and reading challenge for myself of 75 books. So that means I would have to read at least another 14 books, next year, which I could actually easily do considering there were months this year where I fell into bits of reading slumps and didn't read the average amount of books I normally would have in that month. Now personally, I don't usually keep track of the number of pages that I read like all together in total for an entire year, but Goodreads does give it to you in your year of reading summary at the end of the year, and to me this number is completely astonishing because I had no idea it was getting up so high. Well, for me, there are people who have had such higher page counts, but I ended up reading a total of 21,298 pages. And that has the possibility of going up a bit because I am still reading Renegades, and there is maybe 2 or 3 more days left of the year. But to me, that number is so unbelievably large, and I am so proud of myself for that, and I want to challenge myself to read at least 23,000 pages next year, which would be easily done if I decide to pick up a few more larger books, such as It by Stephen King, which I do plan on reading, as well as the last 2 Dark Artifices books from that trilogy, which I also plan to do. And maybe, finishing off the Harry Potter series as a reread, which would help immensely. But we will see when we get there, and we'll see how we do. There is no pressure on these goals. These are just something I want to challenge myself to do to get through 2021, because the effects of 2020 are not just gonna go away with the new year. Now for the largest book that I read in 2020, according to Goodreads, was House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, the first book in the Crescent City trilogy, at 799 pages. And I know for a fact I read that book in like 3 days, because I fell absolutely in love with it, and I loved that book so much, and I don't know. But the biggest book I think, and I predict that I will be reading in 2021, is It by Stephen King, because it has over 1,000 pages. Though I am most definitely not going to be reading that in under 2 weeks. That will take me a long time, especially because I am not that used to reading horror, even though I am a major Stephen King fan. And the shortest book, according to Goodreads, that I read in 2020 was Son of the Dawn by Cassandra Clare at 48 pages. Now, technically this is a novella, and I did read it out of the novella bind-up, but personally, it feels more satisfying when I finish reading a novella to mark it off as just that single novella and not just the whole bind-up, because those books are massive. And it feels so satisfying just to go, hey, I did finish this, and it's not, I'm just not making progress. So according to Goodreads, shortest book I read was Son of the Dawn by Cassie Clare at 48 pages, and for 2021 I actually have absolutely no idea what my shortest read is going to be. It could be something I have to read for school or not. I don't know. We will see. That is one I am not gonna give predictions on. Now for 2020, I had originally had the goal to keep up with a sort of reading journal, and I was sadly not able to do that within the first few months of quarantine. And so I am taking a leap of faith and setting up a 2021 reading journal that I want to at least follow until halfway through the year, just to keep myself on track and see some of the statistics that I usually wouldn't be able to see through Goodreads. Now for what I like to call my impossible goal is I've had an issue with buying so many books. I am so grateful to be able to do so, but with buying so many books, I have so many that I have to read that when I order new ones, they tend to just sit on my shelf until I finish all of the books I've ordered before then. So my goal is to catch up with all the books I have not yet read on my shelves, so that when I start ordering new ones, I can start picking those new ones up and reading them when they come in instead of just having them sit there for months. Now I'm going to very quickly, as quickly as I possibly can, go through my top 5 books that I want to finish within the first half of 2021, starting with Misery by Stephen King, followed by finishing The Secret History by Donna Tartt, considering I have been reading this for several months now, and then followed by a trilogy which makes up the rest of the list, starting with Shadow and Bone, followed by Siege and Storm, and ending with Ruin and Rising. I want to read these plus the Six of Crows duology to prepare for the Shadow and Bone series that is coming out on Netflix, and then The Secret History. It's really just because I've been reading it for several months and I feel very, very unproductive not being able to finish it yet, and then Misery would actually be an amazing read to get through with horror, but you know, we'll see what happens, considering my mood will change with what I want to read as the year goes on. And finally, my reading goals for social media. I want to at least do one buddy read with somebody I have met through my social medias pertaining to books, as well as I want to do at least one sort of readathon per social media platform that I have dedicated to books. Like, I want to do a readathon week for Instagram, and then something for YouTube, and then something for Twitter, and all of that. I want to be more active within the bookish communities on social media platforms, and being able to do readathons is actually a really big part of it, and it allows for so many more connections and friendships to be formed. Alright guys, that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments section below some of your reading goals that you have for 2021 and some of the goals that you were able to meet.